is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
We begin with a live look outside on this MLK holiday. A warm and humid start to the week, but a cool down isn't too far off. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now with the latest forecast. Ivan?
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting week. We're going to go back and forth as far as the temperatures. We got a couple of fronts coming in. Right now we're at 80 degrees. It feels like 84. If you've stepped outside, you know what I'm talking about. Here's some gusty winds out of the south, and that continues to make it feel warmer than the actual temperature. We're at 80 in Key West. If we hit 83, we're not done quite yet. That's the record to tie for today. All right, here is the setup here. You see the arrows pointing up. That is a south wind direction. We got a warm front that's all the way across central Florida, and that's what brought us a lot of the cloud cover for today. Showers and thunderstorms firing along Lake Okeechobee, but that's where they're going to stay as everything continues to lift to the north. That's the warm front giving us this pocket of very humid air. Tomorrow, we're going to have a cold front that's going to be coming in, but it's not going to cool us off tremendously. It's just going to bring temperatures, I think, a little bit back to average. But it is creating a mess right now. If you have friends across the southeastern U.S., that white you see there in Alabama, that is snow. Jackson, Mississippi has winter storm warnings in effect as we speak. That is quite something here. 13 degrees in Memphis, 60 degrees in Atlanta. You can find the front in the middle, and where we do have it, we have some snow breaking out, and of course a messy mixture of ice as well. Quite a difference. Now, is this cold air going to make it all the way down to the south? It won't. Not in this fashion. It'll moderate, but I think temperatures will cool off a little bit before a bigger front comes in towards the end of the week. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. But tomorrow, we're game for some showers, even a couple of isolated thunderstorms just because it's so warm and humid. And then the front clears us out. We begin to cool off as we head through the day on a Wednesday with that north wind, but it won't last because we'll shift to an onshore wind by the time we get into Thursday ahead of the next boundary that's going to be moving in. So this is the way it'll shake out for us as we head through tomorrow. Temperatures once again will be back in the low to mid 80s. I think we're going to make a crack at mid 80s. This is the kind of setup we had last week where we had those record highs. Then we do cool off for Wednesday. We are back at it with showers and storms on Thursday, warming up on Friday, and then the big cool down with dry air coming in for the weekend with high temperatures very comfortable in the low 70s, low humidity, and 50s overnight.
Ivan, thank you. Today, South Florida and the country are remembering Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Earlier this morning, Martin Luther King III took part in a wreath laying at the Martin Luther King Memorial in Washington, D.C. Today would have been Dr. King's 95th birthday. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner reports from Fort Lauderdale.
Spanning blocks,
Happy MLK Day!
families gathered along 6th Street to watch as the Martin Luther King Jr. parade went by.
And everybody's so excited to have this holiday.
Few had a better seat than Mary Davis, her driveway, part of the parade route.
A lot of people gathering together, just having fun. A lot of entertainment is going to be at the park today, so they could just come and relax.
It's a family affair out here today. I spoke to one dad who told me that his parents started bringing him to MLK Day parades when he was a kid, and today he is out here with his nieces and nephews, passing that tradition on to them.
It's a unity, it's a community coming together, what Mr. King stood for, and we just kind of keep it going.
William Robinson smiled as his son, nieces, and nephews proudly answered what this parade means to them.
Martin Luther King stood up for us for our rights. So I think it's important to celebrate it.
Dozens of organizations, businesses, and community leaders participated in the parade.
Today is a day that our community comes out, and it really the whole city and others from Broward County.
Vice Mayor Pam Beasley Pittman is honoring Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy in more ways than one.
Actually, the first elected African-American female to sit on the city's dais in its entire history.
Mayor Dean Trentalis said it's important for cities to honor MLK Day in this way.
Because every community needs to feel that they're part of the community. No one should feel left out or marginalized.
That was Morgan Reiner reporting. The 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Foundation is also honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. The 31st annual MLK Birthday Scholarship Breakfast was held this morning in Miami Beach. The event celebrated role model graduates, including NBA star Udonis Haslem. 50 students were awarded scholarship support. The event also took a moment to celebrate 50 years of hip-hop with a guest appearance from Rick Ross. And now we move to Iowa, where the first contest in the 2024 presidential election gets underway. Iowa Republicans are also dealing with a bitter winter blast as they head out this evening to support their candidates at tonight's caucuses. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand is live in Des Moines with the latest details. Natalie?
Hi, Lauren. Political operatives here in the state say caucus night is known for surprises. It's also the culmination of the candidates campaigning here for really the past year. And we've actually met a number of Floridians who are here knocking doors and making phone calls on behalf of Governor DeSantis, including folks from within his administration who say that they are here on their personal time and money, volunteering up until the very end.
From local diners to town halls, GOP presidential hopefuls are trying to make the most of these final hours before caucus night. For Iowans, it's a mix of intrigue.
I'm very curious to see how this will turn out.
Anxiety.
I don't think she's going to do well.
And even indecision.
I think my final decision will come on caucus night.
Dylan Engelbrecht chairs Drake University's College Republicans.
What is your sense of who the young Republicans like this year?
I think it's a pretty mixed bag like we see in the polls. I think you definitely have that committed group that is still for President Trump all the way. But I think there's definitely interest in other candidates like Governor DeSantis and Ambassador Haley.
Polling reflects that. The latest Des Moines Register poll shows former President Donald Trump with a nearly 30-point lead, and Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis fighting for second place.
The key to winning in Iowa is you need to finish in the top 3.
Volunteers are still working today to help their candidates cross the finish line.
We know, looking at polls, that people are concerned about the weather.
Given the severe weather, the outcome is riding on who shows up and which candidate has the most loyal supporters on what could be the coldest caucus night in history.
Now, heading into this critical caucus night, Senator Marco Rubio actually endorsed former President Trump, a snub to Governor DeSantis. But the DeSantis supporters are downplaying that as a concern, saying they do not believe it will have any impact on the Iowa Republicans in this state. You may know or remember that the governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, she has been backing DeSantis and has been appearing with him at a number of campaign events. They believe that their ground game here is strong, and they have almost everything riding on a strong finish in Iowa. Lauren.
Natalie Brand live for us in Des Moines, Iowa tonight. Thank you for your reporting and your insight. And of course, you can join Jim DeFeeti and Elliot Rodriguez for a CBS News Miami special, Voters Decide, after the Iowa caucus. They'll break down what happens in Iowa and what it means as candidates take their campaigns then to New Hampshire. That's tomorrow night at 7:30, streaming on CBS News Miami, on Pluto TV, and the CBS News app. We'll have more news when we come back.
I think we're going to put a bobblehead like out there next year will be a statue 8 feet tall.
Wow, it was a big and exciting night at the Caucus Center. Miami Heat President Pat Riley with the surprise of the night, announcing a statue of Dwayne Wade will debut right outside the arena later this year. And it was all part of the team and South Florida celebrating the Heat legend's Hall of Fame induction. CBS News Miami's Trish Christakis was there for all the fun.
Well, it's a night that Dwayne Wade will not forget. Of course, he was honored at halftime on the court, but to his surprise, Pat Riley came out and announced that they'll be building a statue of him right outside his house, the Caucus Center. Take a look.
I think we're going to put a bobblehead like out there next year will be a statue 8 feet tall. It'll be the first statue ever that they'll be here on Biscayne Boulevard.
It's not something I dreamed of, but it's something I definitely grew up knowing about. When Michael Jordan had a statue in Chicago, and it was the first statue I've ever seen. And so to be able to be at this point in my life where I know that the same feeling I had when Jordan had his statue is the same feeling that young kids will have coming and getting an opportunity to visit my families will have, to be able to create memories and moments in front of this arena.
Well, quite the emotional moment for him. And Pat Riley also mentioned that statue will be 8 feet tall. So I can imagine the line to take a photo with the Dwayne Wade statue will be quite long for everyone here in Wade County. Reporting at the Casella Center, I'm Trish Christakis for CBS News Miami.
And in Buffalo, the Bills posted this picture on X a couple of hours ago saying they still needed shovelers to help get Highmark Stadium ready for today's wild card game. Wow, that is quite a sight. And a reminder, CBS Miami is the only place to watch the Steelers and Bills play in the AFC wild card game today at 4:30 p.m. You can watch CBS News Miami at 5, 6, and 7 on our sister station, TV 33. And of course, as always, streaming live on CBS News Miami, Pluto TV, and the CBS News app. And don't forget, CBS Miami is the home of Super Bowl 58, so be sure to join us for the big game Sunday, February 11th. The power of CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. Again, we're on Pluto TV, and best part is it's all free. Or you can find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app, then click on CBS News Miami. And here's what we're working on for you tonight at 5. Wrong house raid. A toddler ends up in the hospital after police in Ohio storm into the wrong home. The potential legal action the family is considering. We'll have those details ahead at 5. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.